So I'm making codfish with quinoa. Quinoa is a grain that has a lot of protein. So instead of using starches that are basically carbohydrates, this one actually has protein. I like to saute some onion, shallot. In here some peppers. So I have a couple of shallots. This is the second one. I already started one. So we can see how it's sauteing. And I don't cut evenly or tiny, or I just cut it. It doesn't matter. It tastes good. I chop very roughly. So this is my shallot that I'm going to saute it. And then I will put my quinoa there with some water. And for the cod, I like to cook both sides. And then I put a lot of herbs there, fresh herbs. I call it fresh herbs cod. I also use some garam masala seasoning. It's kind of like curry. So it's very tasty. So I just barely cook both sides, and then I'll start chopping my herbs here. I have also some pepper, which I'm going to add. But first I need to let the cod cook a little bit longer, and I will have some green onion. I like to use different onions, so today I'm using, these green onions are kind of large, so I'm using only 2. If they're small, you can use more. I'm using green onion. I'm using some leek, which I love to use all the time. So we'll chop these also roughly. Sorry. So I'm chopping some leek with some green onions. They're all chopped coarsely because they're going to cook for a while. So it's okay. I already put some pepper. It's the poblano. Some garlic. And I'll add the second green onion. For the quinoa, I did 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water. It cooks just like basmati rice. It takes about 20 minutes. Very simple. Bring it to boiling. It hasn't boiled yet, so like you see, it's kind of still working on the water to boil. So bring it to boiling, then you can put the lid on. At this moment it's on medium, then I'm going to take it all the way to low. So that's how the quinoa is going to be cooked. I'm going to add more garlic. I put on both sides. Everything that I put, it's going to be on both sides. So I had some garlic on that side. I'll put some garlic on this side. I also have some cilantro and some parsley to add here. So it's very green. I have a handful of cilantro that I chop also coarsely. And parsley. This parsley, part of it is fresh from the garden, this part, and part of it is store-bought. So I'm going to use both because I like fresh, has more flavor. So I'm going to use some of that and some of store-bought. So you just chop the leaves. You can keep the stems either for composting, or you can also use them as soups. They give a lot of flavor to the food. There's my parsley. Now I'm gonna put my spice on top of the fish. Like I told you, it's the garam masala. It's kind of a curry. You can put curry, anything you like. I put about a teaspoon on this side, and I'll flip it and put another teaspoon on the other side. Now I'm shredding just a little bit of ginger here. Not a whole lot, about half of a, not even half an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Because it's kind of spicy, so if you are sensitive and can't have spicy, it's a different spice than pepper, but it's still hot. But it's very good for digestion, so that's the reason I like to have that in my food. And with the onions and the garlic, ginger is a perfect flavor mixed with them. So this cooks really fast because the fish is going to cook fast. Then if you like, you can add a tomato or two or some tomato sauce to make it even more sauce. Today I didn't, but I can always add a tomato and make it have more sauce in it. But I think my herbs are so nice and rough, they're going to create some good flavor here, so I'm good. But there's always an option of throwing a tomato there to make it different color. Now for my quinoa, I'm going to stir and see what's doing. Looks like it's working very slowly. Hasn't boiled. Maybe make it a little bit higher. So it has to boil. All the juices has to go down. And then when there's no liquid on top of it, just like rice, you put the lid on and you put it on very low. You have to watch it because the grains are so tiny, you don't want them to stick to the bottom of the pan on your skillet or pot that you're cooking in. I will show you the finishing touch when it's all finished, but so far this is what we have. Thanks for watching. So my quinoa is on a perfect spot to be covered. As you see, there's all those bubbles are creating. So you turn it down to the lowest and you put the lid on the pot. And now all the steam will stay in and it will cook with the steam. And I also put the lid on my fish and put it on really low so the greens will cook slowly and they won't burn. Most times the greens will burn if you are keeping it on high, and the fish will cook fully and it will be ready for our quinoa. Now I forgot to tell you about washing the quinoa. It always says on the package that you need to wash it. The grains are so little, it's very hard to wash. What you can do is when you pour the water in the quinoa, just pat it down so most of it will go down into the water, will sink down. But some of it will still stay on top. So instead of struggling with it, if you have a backyard, just take and pour that water in your backyard, and if you get some quinoa there, it's okay because you might even grow quinoa. So that's how I wash mine. So that's the way to wash quinoa. This dish has both have protein, there's greens, very healthy, very light, so you won't feel heavy and bloated when you eat it. So it's a great dish for lunch or dinner. Thank you for watching.